So I woke up this morning to a bunch more hate messages, which didn't surprise me one bit. 99 hate-filled comments deleted. Thanks for all your hatred and all of your love. You guys are wonderful. All your trashy comments are going where they belong, in the trash. So some people are mad about the comments that I made about Hamtramck. My family was Southern growing up. My grandparents were Southern. They're from Arkansas. And they moved to a rural area out over by Birch Run. So I grew up mostly on a farm. I spent a lot of time with them. My parents were divorced. So I spent a lot of time on a rural farm. So for me, coming to Detroit was very scary. And when the Lord really laid it on my heart to come to Dearborn to reach the Muslims, so when the Lord laid it on my heart to come to Dearborn to reach the Muslims, that was like God calling you to Afghanistan in my mind. I thought Dearborn was the scariest place in the world. And I thought for sure you're going to get killed there and everything else. Dearborn isn't nearly as bad as I thought. Like I said, I've wanted to do outreach in Hamtramck, but it's too scary for me. People approach you. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm not from the city, and I don't claim to be from the city, and I don't claim to be able to handle a lot of people approaching me and stuff like that, making cat calls and stuff like that. I can't handle that. I'm good. But Hamtramck in some areas was nicer than I said. It's nicer than I thought here. So whatever, people can be mad all they want. I said in some places it was nicer than I thought, but in other areas it makes me uncomfortable. As a blonde woman, when you have homeless people and men making cat calls at you, that's very intimidating. And it's like, no, I'm good. I'm totally good on this. So whatever, people can get mad all day long. That doesn't change the facts that there are a lot of homeless people there that approach you when you try to get out of your car. I stopped in Hamtramck twice thinking, oh, maybe I can do outreach here. And people literally ran up to me asking me for money and stuff. And I usually try to help poor people, but this was like a mob of poor people. And they were all asking me for money or making cat calls at me, saying how good I look. It was freaky. That's just not normal, especially if you're from the country. That makes people uncomfortable. I can't handle that. I'm good. So get mad all you want. The facts are the facts.
The whole world in his hand. He's got the whole wide world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the mamas and the daddies in his hand. He's got the itsy bitsy babies in his hand. He's got the Bethel and the Geo in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand.
Hello.
My daddy's phone.
Okay, let go of my phone. Why are you in my cupboard with all your aminals?
I'm just gonna get my animals off the cupboard.
Oh, you're a silly thing, aren't you?
Okay.
So silly. What is your favorite aminal?
I go get after the cupboard.
Is your favorite aminal a meerkat?
Yeah.
Oh, we love our meerkat. So this is one of our coronavirus killers. We put peroxide in the ears because it helps kill off viruses and bacteria and stuff get into the ears. So you want to clean that out. A lot of people don't clean their ears very good. Don't clean their children's ears very good. But you can see how it starts bubbling, and that's a good sign. It's killing off what's in there. And then I'm going to clean it out with some Q-tips, and she cooperates very good with this. She is the best. She doesn't even mind at all, where some kids don't want to hear all the popping, but the popping's a good thing because it's killing the bad stuff in the ears, and that's one of the things that we do for sickness. So whenever our kids get a cold or a flu or anything, we put peroxide in their ears to help fight it off, and it works great. I do it for myself too. You feel better within an hour or two, instantly, pretty much. You feel better. So it's worth a try, even if it's just a preventative measure, which I'm doing it for her just to be preventative. Some of the natural doctors say that a lot of the viruses get in through your ear canal, so you want to keep that clean and put peroxide in there. So very simple thing that anybody can do. So as you can see, it's raining, and we as Christians need to pray for rain because they're saying the humidity helps to, the virus doesn't like humidity. So you're going to have less of it in humid areas. So we need to pray for rain as Christians. We know God hears us. If we're saved and we're a Christian, we can pray for rain, just like Elijah. So, but it's raining right now, and it's wonderful.
Let me show everybody. 98.7. We're doing just fine. Thanks for caring so much. The trolls.
What is this?
Libra.
Very good. What is it?
The zebra.
Very good.
Libra.
What is this? What is it?
Rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros. Good.
Octopus.
What is this one? Sit down. Stay down so we can see you. And Geo,
Quick.
what is it?
Quick. Quack, quack, quick.
Good. So you did good, and now we're going to blow you balloons.
Don't let them pop.
They won't. They're water balloons. They don't pop very easily.
They
Yay,
don't pop.
water balloon.
So I woke up this morning to a bunch more hate messages, which didn't really surprise me at all. You know, I pretty much expected that. But I showed how I just click 100 messages and just delete them at a time because I don't care. You know, I've been through this before. I don't claim that I have, that I act normal. I claim that I act as an obedient Christian for Jesus Christ. And an obedient Christian is going to share the gospel whether people accept it or not. I expect to be hated. I don't care if people hate me. My goal in life is not to please everybody around me. My goal in life is to please God and spread the gospel message. So if people don't like it, I don't care. And, you know, I've had a park ministry that I did for 7 years. A lot of people hated me at first, and then I grew on them, and then they started to love me, and they got saved. So, you know, I was an atheist once, and I converted to Christianity. And at first, I hated Christians and hated their message. And then I got saved and have a completely different perspective. So, you know, people can have a total 180. They might hate you at first because you're doing Christ's work, but then they might have a complete turnaround. So that's kind of the way that I work. People might hate me at first for telling them the truth, but at the end of the day, they're going to realize I loved them enough to tell them the truth. You know, I don't love people into hell. I try to love them into heaven. And that means telling them the truth, whether they like it or not. Obviously, in order to be a Christian, I have to believe Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by him. So that excludes other religions, you know, and they'll say, oh, you're a racist bigot because you exclude other religions. But wait, Islam excludes Christians. You know, they say that if you're a Christian, you're not going to heaven. Or if you're a Jew, you're not going to heaven. You know, Muslims believe the same thing. And I've even talked to Muslim missionaries, and we've had confrontations about our faith. And the Muslim missionary said, well, Alyssa, if you're right, I'm going to hell. And the sad part is that if I'm right, you're going to hell. And that's the way that it is. If Islam's right, the Christians are going to hell. If Christianity's right, the Muslims are going to hell. So, but I love them enough, and I'm confident enough in what I believe to come to them and talk to them about it and approach them and share with them the message of the gospel. You know, and it's not always received well, but usually it is. You know, most people, they want to know. Most of the Muslims do want to know the truth. They haven't really talked to a Christian before, you know, ever. If it was a Christian, it was a Catholic. It wasn't a real, you know, Christian that follows the Bible. So I don't claim to be normal. I claim that, you know, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and I have a radical faith, and I accept that. You know, I don't care. People can get mad about it. I don't care. I'm doing what Jesus said. He said, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And that's what I'm going to do. You know, like it or lump it, that's what I'm going to do. So, you know, and to each their own. You know what? Every Christian is called to be a light in their community and called to be a witness. And if they choose not to do it, they're going to give account to Jesus for choosing not to witness to the people around them. Because he said, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And that requires, a joint effort, a community effort of Christians sharing the gospel with as many people as possible. Many Christians are going to be accountable for not sharing the gospel, and some people like my videos. A lot of people don't like it, but that's normal with my videos. I don't claim to be, popular in the world, and I don't want to be popular in the world. If I was wanting to be popular in the world, then I could just act like a slut and be popular in the world. But I don't want to be popular in the world. I want to be popular with God and with Jesus. That's what I want to be popular with. And I know all the Muslims have messaged me and said, oh, we believe in a Jesus. Yeah, but your Jesus is not the same Jesus as the one in the Bible. And that's a major problem, because if it's not the Jesus from the Bible, he can't save you. And that's the problem. You have a different Jesus, and that's the problem. So what I'm sharing with you is information to help you to get to heaven out of love, and I get hated for that, and I don't really care. I woke up this morning and I had a couple different emails from reporters, which, you know what? I'm glad to talk about it. I have nothing to hide. I'm a devout Christian. I've been an outspoken Christian for 12 years. I've been in the paper. I've been, on the news and different stuff. I'm not scared at all of this. It doesn't, affect me at all. And they always try to paint me as a racist bigot, which if I was a racist, you know what? I wouldn't go near a Muslim door, because racists don't go out and try to reach people for the gospel. The fact is, I love Muslims. That's why I go out and share the gospel with them. If I hated them and was a racist bigot, I would be like, go to hell. I don't care, and I would never go to their door. The fact is, I'm not a racist. And, my family's Cherokee, so I'm not fully white. So it'd be really impossible for me to be a racist if I really wanted to be. But, the fact is, I'm not a racist. And that's why I go to Muslims, because it's out of love. And I had a black stepfather. He was extremely abusive at times, but he also at times tried to be a parent to me. So that gave me kind of, a love for people that are of color. My family, some of my family members are racist, and I've said that's not right. God made all men in his image. He created all people equally in his image, is my viewpoint on this. I do not believe some people are better than others. And the racist ideology is evolution, because it says some men are less evolved than others. And we don't believe that as Christians. We believe God made all people in his image equally with an important soul. And every person is individually created, and they're all unique and they're all special in their own way. Some people think I'm very special, but whatever, I don't care, and my video was to kind of be funny too. And my husband was laughing all the way through it when he was watching it, because we have a similar sense of humor. And I was trying to do like different clips throughout my day, kind of like a reality kind of thing. And he's like, this is so funny, because one minute you're talking about peeing in a cup and the next minute you're singing hymns. This is why it's so funny. But I didn't really mean it to flow that way, but I was trying to be kind of funny and facetious and lighten the mood a little bit, because we're going through the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'm scared to death. I literally couldn't sleep last night. I'm like shaking all night. My blood pressure's up. I'm like borderline diabetic. I couldn't sleep at all last night. I'm so concerned about what's going to happen here. I'm concerned. But no, I'm definitely not racist. I love Muslims. That's why I'm willing to go out and tell them the truth. And you know what you'll never find? A Muslim risking their life or anything to go preach Islam to Christians. That just doesn't happen, because they're not as confident, because they don't have saving faith. And that's the big issue. I've talked to many Muslims, missionaries, all different kinds of Muslims. I've even talked to a guy from ISIS on accident. Didn't mean to do that one, but they're not as confident as the Christians. The Christians are so confident, we're willing to put our necks on the line to save your soul.